Okay, so we are about to start our surface area reteach, and we're going to do 2 questions together, and then you're going to do 2 on your own in order for you to get a new grade. A 90 if you get them both right, 70 if you get just one. If you miss both of them, then you're going to have to try again. So looking at the first question, a triangular glass block is being used as a design element in a modern art exhibit. The dimensions of the glass block are shown below. What is the lateral surface area of the glass block in square feet? So we have our, we're looking for our lateral surface area, and we have our formula chart with us. And so we're going to look on our formula chart. We're going to go under the surface area section and look for lateral surface area, and this is a triangular prism. So we're going to look under prism, which is PH. So capital P means that we're going to be looking for the perimeter of the base, and H means that we're going to be looking for the height. But we have to remember that height doesn't mean how tall it is. It's going to be the distance between bases. So that's something that we have to keep in mind. So since I have a triangular prism right here, because these two are the two that are parallel, these two triangles are the two that are parallel to each other. This is going to be capital B, my base. So there's one, and this other triangle is back here. The distance between them is going to be H, how far apart they are. So this is H. This is 1.5, so I can go ahead and plug that in. Capital P means perimeter of the base, so I'm going to be looking at my base, which I marked in purple, and I'm going to be adding those sides. Since my base is a triangle, that means I know I have to add 3 numbers. So this first side of my base is 4.6, so I'm going to do 4.6 plus. This next side of my base is 5.2, so we're going to do plus 5.2. Plus this third side of my base, I don't see it here on the first one, but I see it on the second base in the back. That is 8.2, so plus 8.2. When I add in our calculator, 4.6 plus 5.2 plus 8.2, I end up with 18. So I have 18, and then here I have 1.5. P and H are next to each other, which means that we're going to multiply. So we're going to do 18 times 1.5 in our calculator. And I end up with 27 when I multiply those two. So my answer is C, 27 feet squared. A soup can has a radius of 3.5 centimeters and a height of 11 centimeters. What is the approximate total surface area of a soup can in square centimeters? So this is looking for my total surface area, and I have a soup can, so I'm going to draw a soup can. And this right here is a cylinder. So I can fill it with any information that I have, a radius that's just from the center to the edge of 3.5 and a height of 11. So since this is a cylinder, I'm going to look under my total, look under surface area for a cylinder and go to total. And I end up with 2 pi r h, I'm going to put that in our table, plus 2 pi r squared. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and plug in our numbers. So I need to identify my bases first, capital B. This down here is the other base. The distance between them is H, just like before. The distance between the bases was H, my height. So here I have one base, here's the other. This distance between them is H, my height. So, and I'm also going to need R, my radius, in my formula, which is from the center to the edge, which is what I have. R is 3.5, so I can go ahead and plug them in. 2 is just 2, pi is just pi, R is 3.5, H was 11, this distance between my bases. The plus was just a plus, the 2 was just a 2, the pi was just a pi, and then R squared is going to be 3.5 squared. So we're going to start off by multiplying the numbers that are not pi. So 2, 3.5, and 11. Type that into my calculator. and I end up with 77 pi. Then I have my plus right here that I'm going to save for the next step. Then I'm going to multiply 2 times 3.5 squared. So 2 times, and in my calculator, 3.5. We're using that x squared button next to the 4. And I end up with 24.5 pi. 77 pi plus 24.5 pi is 101.5 pi. So looking at my answer choices, they're not in terms of pi, so that means I actually multiplied it out. So we're going to do 101.5 times my actual pi button on my calculator next to the h, and I end up with 318.87, which rounds up 318.9. So my answer choice is D. So now y'all guys are going to go ahead and do the surface area reteach questions on your own, those 2 questions, for you to either raise your grade up to a 90, a 70, or you're going to have to answer both questions again.